In Orbital News this week, let's discuss the historic first all-female spacewalk with astronauts Christina Koch and Jessica Meir outside the International Space Station. The spacewalk took 7 hours and 17 minutes to complete, in which both Christina and Jessica were able to replace a failed power charging component, also known as a BCDU, or Battery Charge Discharge Unit. That regulates the charge to the batteries that collect and distribute the solar power throughout the space station's systems. Down on Earth, the mission control activated the new BCDU and confirmed a successful replacement and nominal operation. The BCDU that was replaced by the all-woman spacewalkers has been in operation on the space station since September 2010 and was integrated to the space station 19 years ago on STS-97. Both astronauts were productive and able to progress some future tasks, including the installation of a stanchion on the Columbus module for support of a new external payload for the ESA called Bartolomeo, which is scheduled for a 2020 launch to the station. Bartolomeo is the European Space Agency's solution for commercial space missions where users will get access to space, high-speed data feeds, and a unique vantage point, as well as competitive pricing. With 11 slots that can each hold up to 450 kilograms of external payloads, or the option for users to ride share a minimum of 5 kilograms of a payload per time in each slot, Bartolomeo is a huge value for the ESA and any European commercial space companies or entrepreneurs. Now, let's discuss the astronauts behind the all-woman spacewalk. First up, Christina Koch was selected by NASA in 2013 as an astronaut, and she completed her astronaut candidate training in July of 2015. She graduated from North Carolina State University with a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering and Physics and a Master's of Science in Electrical Engineering. This is the first spaceflight for her, which has spanned 3 different ISS expeditions, 59, 60, and this current expedition, 61, where she was one half of the historic spacewalk team. By the end of her time in space, she is scheduled to set a record for the longest single spaceflight by a woman with an expected total of 328 days in space. This would allow her to pass Peggy Whitson, who is still the current leader, at 289 days, 5 hours, and 1 minute in space. Before that, the record holder was ESA astronaut Samantha Cristoforetti with 199 days, 16 hours in space, and that was achieved in the same year. Next, let's discuss the other half of the historic spacewalk duo, Jessica Meir. Jessica has a Bachelor of Arts in Biology from Brown University, a Master of Science in Space Studies from the International Space University, which sounds awesome, by the way, and a doctorate in Marine Biology from Scripps Institution of Oceanography, or UCSD. This was also her first spaceflight and was astronaut classmates with Christina Koch. In doing some research to learn more about Jessica Meir, I came across her background on NASA.gov, and I'm just going to say it word for word because it is so scientifically badass, it just needs to be read aloud. For her PhD research, Dr. Meir studied the diving physiology of marine mammals and birds, focusing on oxygen depletion in diving emperor penguins, Arctic field research, and elephant seals in Northern California. She investigated the high-flying bar-headed goose during her postdoctoral research at the University of British Columbia, training geese to fly in a wind tunnel while obtaining various physiological measurements in reduced oxygen conditions. In 2012, Dr. Meir accepted a position as assistant professor at the Harvard Medical School Massachusetts General Hospital, where she continued her research on the physiology of animals in extreme environments. She also took part in Smithsonian Institution diving expeditions to the Arctic and Belize and has been very active with scientific outreach efforts. We have the entire 7-hour-plus broadcast link if you'd like to take a look and see the live feed of their spacewalk and also get some really interesting background from the hosts who provided a great experience. You know, it's been a while since I checked in on the ISS operations, and this spacewalk was done right. It's really good to see NASA make the most out of a historic spacewalk, especially to make up for the lack of coverage and backup plan when the last all-female spacewalk was to happen back in March of this year, 2019. 3 astronauts were on board that could conduct the spacewalk: Nick Hague, Anne McClain, and Christina Koch. Unfortunately, the EVA spacesuits did not fit properly for Christina, and Nick Hague and Anne McClain performed that spacewalk. Space Twitter blew up on NASA for being so nonchalant about the cancellation, especially since most people were just finding out about the first all-female spacewalk because it got canceled. And a spacesuit not being able to fit wasn't the answer everyone was looking for. But safety is key, and I think we got the best case scenario here. A well planned out and broadcasted historic first all-female spacewalk with 2 fitted suits. So a big congratulations to both Christina Koch and Jessica Meir, showing what's possible and setting the stage for women in the wake of NASA's Artemis 2024 mission, where the first woman will be sent to walk on the moon. You never know, one of these women may have her boots on the lunar surface in 2024. Time will tell. We'll have a bunch of links in this episode, so you can find all of that there if you want to dive deeper and do some more homework.